What if we told you that the Disney parks have pulled a big trick when it comes to Disney World and Disneyland? The prices are going up in 2026 and in a big way. Not just parking, not just the normal day tickets, but also annual passes and so much more. Meanwhile, Disney has a floor they want you to know about, a starting at price total for their lowest priced days. There's just one problem. There's only 2 days on the calendar that cost way less. And you can guess why that is. Hello friends, welcome back. We are here to discuss what's really going on at Walt Disney World and Disneyland, and this one just might disgust you. Folks, it's making us unhappy how the lower middle class is being treated by Disney parks. We're going to get into that, and there's a PR game that is being played you need to know about. Can you afford even to go to Disney in 2026? We'll tell you. Folks, first, click that like button and tell us in the comments below when's the last time you visited the Magic Kingdom. Without further ado, here we go. From ATL Sloan, I believe that stands for Atlanta, Sloan says this, just wow. Say my wife and I want to go to Disney World this weekend to finally get her Tron/Guardians fix, I think is implied, for both of us. A 2-day park hopper with tax is approaching nearly $1,000 for 2 people. Throw in standard parking for 2 days at $30 a day and you come to $1,016.88. Disney is no longer for average Americans and families. And of course, Scott Gustin is down here saying new Walt Disney World has increased prices on tickets, annual passes, and other offerings across the resort effective on Wednesday. Now, we told you this was coming, and here it is, okay? But what have they done this time that has trickified a few out there that we would like to disabuse this misinfo? Well, let's dive in, folks. Out of Deadline by Tom Tapp. Or is it Tap-Up? No, it's Tom Tapp. Disneyland and Walt Disney World basic ticket price increases are less than in recent years, but good luck finding a date to use them. Says it's that time of year. No, not Halloween. It's time for the Disney Parks annual October ticket price increases. A Disney spokesperson told Deadline that although prices are changing, the park's commitment to magic has not. You know, I want to be a business person who gets to use the word magic. Wouldn't that be? That is the ultimate. What do you do? That? Yeah, I think maybe we can.
Would you like tuning in every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern for that Park Place Morning Magic?
Somebody's going to, the accountants are going to say, what's going on with the revenues? Well, it's not really about the dollars. It's about the magic. And the accountants are going to say, what are you on, man? What are you on? Disney Parks offers a full day of experiences each day with ticket, hotel, and dining options designed to suit a wide range of needs and budgets for all who visit, the statement reads. Our commitment to creating magical experiences for everyone remains at the heart of what we do, and that will never change. That's not true, folks. You know that. I know that. Nobody in the lower class is getting invited to Disney for magical experiences. They don't want that. With that, below is a breakdown of the changes at both U.S. parks. All right, now, what it goes on to talk about is that Disney has made a big switch, and specifically at Disney World. So let's go down to Disney World. Disney World has seen high demand for the holidays. The lowest price single-day ticket for Magic Kingdom remains $119. 2 years ago, those tickets cost $109. Unfortunately, the high demand, there's no high demand. Unfortunately, the high demand, we've covered that extensively, means there are no days before the end of the year on which the lowest price single ticket can be used. In fact, the first opportunity listed on the park's 2026 calendar to use that lowest day price is 10 months away on August 18th. And here's what you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. Disney World has a lowest price day. And the reason they have that has always been so that they can say starting at in their marketing, we believe. However, guys, girls, you won't believe this. Can anybody guess how many days that lowest price exists in 2026 for Disney? Does anybody know?
I'm going to guess 1 day. Is it 1 day?
No, that would actually, people would call them out even in legacy media. So they avoided that, Jonas, by going to 2 days. There are a grand total of 2 days. There are a grand total of 2 days that you can get, folks. You can get that very cheap lowest price day at Disney World. 2 days, and it is dramatically lower than any of the other days. It's only there, I believe, so that they can market and say, starting at $119 for the Magic Kingdom, when in reality, you're going to pay almost always, including taxes, over $200. Nat, it's gross, it's schemy. I don't like it. It's scummy too. What say you on Disney raising prices, but keeping 2 days in 2026 at the lowest price so that they can say starting at $120?
Well, it's the expected shenanigans, in my opinion. But
Yes.
at the same time, it's just proving that nobody really wants to go and they can't keep it up with the amount of actual sales they're having. It's just market economics showing its hand. And I think a lot of people are trying not to see it that way, but it is. Also especially in Orlando, Epic Universe, even just being there also creates another issue for them that they didn't even want to turn to look at. And now with all the renovations they're also doing, it's a lot of people might also be thinking, well, if it's that expensive and I won't be able to, I'll see just walls all the time, why would I even go? But then they have to hide that by making it more expensive and saying, oh, maybe it's because of that.
And culture, the way that they're getting around this, Disney's raising prices like crazy at the same time that they raise the prices. And it's for parking, it's for food, it's for annual pass. It's everything. At the same time, they're cutting the cost of the hotels in a special discount by like 50%, $250 off a night if you'll stay for 4 nights. And kids eat free. They get a free dining plan like Howard Johnson back in the 90s. If parents will get a dining plan, Disney is desperate, but they want to raise the baseline price. Why? What is the strategy here, Culture?
Well, perception almost always when it comes to Disney. Again, you made a joke a few moments ago about, there's only 2 days that have the lowest price tickets. That's perception issue. They didn't want to be shown by the mainstream media or anybody else paying attention that, they're pretty skeevy. And again, it's easier to write into the cost and the budgeting some of these giveaways, and some of them are, you have to remember Disney may be practicing some of the sketchy stuff they were doing with the bookkeeping that was called out by one of the wonderful people who kind of blew the whistle on what Disney was doing to reimburse the gift cards or
allegedly.
That's right. Yeah. How things were being, essentially, manipulated behind the scenes when it comes to earnings. So they've been doing this for a long time, as I've noted before, and so have you, that the dining plan for everybody was an option at one point when they were in the most dire of straits. But now, there's a lot of artificial levers they can throw, like the prices of Lightning Lane and everything else. And they could always amp up, the parking fee and everything else that, in fact, I was suggested to me that it costs that much to park at a hockey game. And then I'd say, well, I wouldn't be going to a hockey game then. But it's just, I've reached the point where I'm not going to pay any more junk fees. And I think the public's already there. So this raise in prices will artificially harm the bottom line. They just don't realize that yet. They've already gone beyond what people will tolerate. And now that people realize that they're not getting the full value of the top end passes with this new price increase, I think that the fact that there's a period of time you won't be able to go to the parks, even with the top end pass, that's going to be a problem too. I don't think Disney's going to be able to play this perception game for very much longer because of the quality work that Jonas and Marv and you do over at That Park Place on the website. Plus, amazing streams like this. So I don't know, Pro. I think that I think the future for Disney is going to be less financially secure. And I think that people's hesitancy to artificially lift the stock price may disappear. I think they maybe have 1 quarter left to try to hoodwink everybody, and then they won't be able to. Because, again, we pointed out earlier in the stream the massive failures and flops that they've been custodians of for the better part of 2 years. I think I'm right. What do you think, Nat?
Yes, and that's why I was saying just kind of let them implode so people will at least realize and stop hoping and waiting. I sound very doomsday-y, but I think that will be the only solution since we don't see them even trying to change anything and they're just making things worse.
And I'll say this too, Jonas, as we look at this, this number looks astounding, right? It's and not in a good way, that a man and his wife would get charged $1,000, slightly over $1,000 for 2 days at Disney. Jonas, it's actually worse because he says that his wife wants to get her Tron and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind fix in. Those are Lightning Lane, Premier Lightning Lane pass attractions, or individual Lightning Lane, or what do they call it now?
Yeah.
Jonas, it's actually more expensive. So that can cost you $30 to $50 per day, more if you're doing 2 parks. So that's going to be another $100 per person per day.
Right, unless you're going for the premium, and I don't know. Are they doing the premium to where you have to be in one of their deluxe resorts in order to get premium, or have they opened that up to everybody?
Either way, Jonas, if they're charging, if you bought the premium Lightning Lane to get to skip up the lines, and if you're going to spend half a day at the parks, you might have to do that.
Right.
If that's what you're doing, it's $1,500 to $1,600 for 2 days for 2 people.
Right. And I'm of the inclination. I grew up in Florida, and we would drive more than an hour to get to Orlando, and it would be a Saturday. And let's just say there are more Campbells than would fit on one hand if you're counting. Let's just say that. But we'd still get into the park for less than $400, all of us, under current rates. That's not that bad. Now that same vacation is more than I want to think about. The other thing is, I would never buy Park Hopper, because that is wasting money. If you don't have a lot of money, you need to enjoy each park on its own, except that it's not worth it to waste an entire day at Animal Kingdom right now, unless you just really love what's there. The 5 attractions that they have there, I think it's actually less than 5 at this point, if you don't count things that aren't rides. This is a company that's giving less and less, and it doesn't seem like Universal is going to come in and offer some kind of zoo exhibit. That just doesn't seem like that's something they're about to do. But if you're wanting that kind of thing, go to Busch Gardens. Spend an entire week at Busch Gardens, living it up with the roller coasters and the animals and all that. They're going to be expanding. They're fighting harder to get your dollars. And Disney right now is just really hoping that the momentum of you having gone to Disney in the past, the cultural default choice of going to Disney, is going to keep you coming. Yeah. Until you start to look at your credit card statement, until you start to look at your budget. They want you to not pay attention to what your economic options are outside of Disney. Here's the funny thing. If the liberal boycott of Disney that came from the Jimmy Kimmel stuff actually stuck the way it did with a lot of right-leaning people starting around 2020 or so, there's a lot of goodwill that the company had. So you could release a mediocre movie and it was the next Disney movie, so we're all going to pack in the car and go to the movie theater and see it. Well, when you don't have that goodwill, almost all of a sudden it's like, well, this wasn't very good. Why am I watching this? I don't have goodwill toward this company. I think they kind of hate me. Also, we're going to consider where else we're going to do our vacation. The creativity that you don't have when you just say, when's the next time we're going to Disney? There are so many things to do with your vacation. If you're going to spend $1,000 with one person on any vacation for, let's just say it's 2 days, you're living like kings and queens for those 2 days. So, or at Disney, you can clench your wallet, as you also have to pay for food in the parks on top of that.
Let's just say this. I'm not trying to be overly negative on Disney. I don't like doing that. People accuse us of it. It's not what I want to do. I want to maximize vacations.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just in the Orlando area, and it was already expensive at the other parks. So.
Well, I just want to say, Epcot has 10 rides right now. Animal Kingdom has 5 rides right now. Hollywood Studios might have 11. I don't remember. You're paying, hundreds of dollars per person to go to these parks. Dollywood has 60 rides and cost less. And it's ultra high quality.
And
so I don't know what Disney is thinking.
And I say this almost as a joke. Obviously, there are places on Disney property that you can get better food. But for the normal food in the park, Dollywood has better food. And you will have a better experience. There's more there for an entire family to do. You can bring some old people. You might have to push them up the hills if they're in a wheelchair. But there's more to do at Dollywood than there is in a single Disney park. Okay, you won't see the latest animatronic, but you'll still have a great time.
Jonas, I've put it up on the screen.
There it is.
Cinnamon
Right
bread.
there.
It's
That's
the
where you
mill
get it.
where they make the cinnamon bread that Jonas. Well, I'm still inclined to say that it's just a giant loaf of French toast, but I've been corrected, and I stand corrected. It's cinnamon bread. It's cinnamon bread.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. All right, folks. Are you going to Disney World? Are you going to Disneyland? Or can you stand these prices? And if so, what would you consider to be your socioeconomic status? Let us know down below. Can you afford Disney anymore? Or are you going to Busch Gardens? Are you going to Epic? Are you going to Dollywood? And folks, let the credits roll for this one. Well, it is in the bank. We are done here. We're over and out. But before we go, there's one thing we must shout to you, and we do it in the kindest way possible. Folks, it would be such a pleasure if you could consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and that notification bell. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. You bet. Don't forget also, as you get ready to leave, drop a comment down below if you have not yet, for we would love to know what's on your mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. Join a community dialogue. Folks, as we get ready to leave, we say to you, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and no matter what the world might do or what your station might be, up or down, you keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah.
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio.
Arizona. Arizona. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me.
What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.